My wife and I often do this bit to where, one of us just says something really out of pocket or just says something really, really silly, and we question, why have you not divorced me yet? And that got us thinking, what are the dumbest ways couples have gotten a divorce? And that's what we're looking at today. We're going to Reddit Ask Anything. We're going to find out what marriages ended in the worst reasons. Let's get into it. My ex divorced me after his best friend died of drug overdose. He left me to be with his best friend's girlfriend. He felt the need he needed to take care of her now that his friend was gone. We had only just met her at the funeral. They broke up within 2 weeks. Yeah, yikes. That is insane. Yeah, there's no justifying that one. That's fucked up. Imagine you just lose your best friend. It's like, oh, she needs a new lover. And she can't find it anywhere else but in the arms of her dead husband's best friend. 2 weeks. Surprised it went on for 1. That's so fucking weird. Apparently, from what my dad told me, my mom divorced him because in a past life she was a Native American and my dad was the cowboy that killed her. My dad realized the crazy and didn't fight it. Oh, and apparently she told him there's an entity on Jupiter who protects Earth from world-ending asteroids. So thanks to that entity, I guess. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words there. If I was the husband, I would have initiated the divorce instead of her. That's fucked up. The dumbest excuse I ever heard when my now ex-wife told me we needed to divorce because a palm reader said I wasn't her soulmate. Apparently the guys she was fucking behind my back for months was her soulmate and had nothing to do with why we needed to divorce. I mean, hey, credit, the palm reader just saved your ass, really, from an insane psychopath. I knew a guy who got divorced because he and his wife stopped enjoying sex with each other. I asked him if he had talked to her about what she likes and tried doing more foreplay. He said no and was absolutely not willing to do either thing. Basically, he expected her to just deal with him going and dry for the rest of their lives. I think that's justified. Sex within a relationship should go both ways, and you should both accommodate each other's kinks, I guess. I mean, how freaky did she want to be? Couldn't have been that bad. Just lazy ass husband. Aw, that's heartbreaking. I'm sure we've heard it in the US, but a guy divorced his wife so she wouldn't be saddled with all of his medical debt if he passed away. That's just sad. I get it. That's why I live by the rule of nobody can drive my car, because if they fuck it up and it's their fault, then I'm gonna have to ask them to pay for it. And I wouldn't wish any of my debt paid off by anybody. So this I get. That's just heartbreaking though. Someone decided to force his wife to get a paternity test for their recently born child. This was because the idiot's mom couldn't believe the child would have a different eye color than the dad. Yeah, I've got nothing on that one either. What the fuck? My aunt divorced because they squeezed toothpaste from different ends. One of them likes to squeeze the tube from the bottom and the other from the top. She remarried and is happy with her second husband. Yes, it actually is about toothpaste, and they had their own tubes each. That's so... Alright, whichever one of you was squeezing the tube from the top and not the bottom, yeah, you deserve that divorce. That's fucked up. Never do that again. Learn your lesson. You filth. My buddy got divorced because his wife decided they made enough money. They should be going out to eat 3 times a week. To nice restaurants, she kept throwing a fit at the suggestion that they could stay home and cook something. On the one hand, 3 times a week, if it wasn't nice restaurants, it's not too bad. I feel like maybe I'll do 2 a week at most, just because my wife and I don't have that much money. I don't think it's too much to ask for eating out 3 times a day. If it was every single time, every single meal, now that's a different story. My ex-wife said I read too much. That had absolutely nothing to do with the fact that she was jumping on another man's dick. So she said. What book were you reading, the Kama Sutra? Once I heard a story of divorce in ancient Greece. The man wanted out because, unlike the statues of women all over the place, his wife had body hair. You know, I think I gotta go with him. No, body hair. Nope. Divorce. My wife. Go peach fuzz mustache. Nope. Bye. Bye, wife. She wouldn't use baby wipes when changing their baby's diaper. Also, she didn't mow the lawn, and finally, she didn't blow out the candles at night. Yeah, no. What are you wiping the baby with? What are you wiping the baby with? Tell me, please. Paper towels? Your hand? What are you using, alcohol wipes? What are you doing to the child? Now, mowing the lawn, I mean, all right, if you're stay at home, yes, you should be doing all the housework and take care of those candles, you fucking clod. If she's not stay at home, and if they're both working, it really just goes to whoever. But who am I to say? I live in an apartment. I don't have a lawn to mow. Oh, I was too black for him. Mind you, he was black too, but he expected me to tone it down after we got married to look good to his white co-workers. We got in a fight after a Christmas party, our first Christmas married, over the way I was joking with someone and he got upset. We divorced shortly after. We were both 19. I was high-key dumb for getting married that young. What do you mean, too black? Like, were you just like the stereotypical black person? Also, I mean, you shouldn't be ashamed of the person you're with. If they are who they are, then that was your choice. You chose them. But I mean, what are you supposed to say? Could you be a little bit more white? Could you like paint your face a little bit? Could you get a reverse tan, please? Ha ha ha! My friend told me a couple he knew who already had a rocky relationship. They were having curry in a nice little restaurant. The husband suddenly screamed, "Hi-ya!" and karate chopped a stack of Papa Don's. That was the final straw. She started the divorce the next day. You know, listen, he was just trying to put on a good show for the restaurant. It's not bad. Papa Dom's had it coming. I don't know what you're talking about. Ooh, before walking down the aisle, she said, "I don't love this guy." She refused to call off the wedding because all the money her parents spent and the guests were all there, and divorced a month later. Ooh. Well, here's the thing, like, now you're stuck with a memory with somebody you never loved. You now have pictures, whole albums of this man you didn't love, and now everybody knows, and now you just look like a dumbass. Wasn't feeling it after a week. This definitely has to do with living together before marriage. That typically can be a root cause because when you share a bed with somebody before marriage and then you get married, it doesn't really feel much different if you've been living together for a long time. The label of married couple kind of diminishes if you are living together before marriage. Lost his job and began playing video games 16 to 20 hours a day to manage the stress. Only he kept doing that for 5 years, during which time she was solo parenting their 3 children because he had video games events to attend to and retraining for a new career so he could support the family on a single income. He refused to take a week off of playing to spend time on a family vacation, refused to see a therapist about video game addiction, refused to look for a job because it would all work out because his wife was busting her hump to be a single mom with a full-time job. Finally, he said, "Video games are me," or she said, "Video games are me," and he said, "I think you're being really unreasonable and controlling. It's not a big deal if I play for a couple hours after the kids go to bed." She sub-poenated his Valve playing time record, and for the prior year when he kept insisting he only played a couple hours a day and she was overreacting. Lives with his mother, plays video games, doesn't pay child support because he still hasn't found a job, and his visitation weekends and follows the kids playing video games. Holy shit. No, it is true. It is fine to play for a couple hours a day if you were playing for a couple hours a day. See, I am not a full-time YouTuber. I am not a full-time Twitch streamer because I don't make enough to do it. I'm not big enough, so I work a 9 to 5. That's what you gotta do. If you're gonna drop everything and then start this career, you are fucked. I'd be fucked. I wouldn't be living in an apartment. I'd be evicted. Unless you're pro, you shouldn't be attending gaming events either. Like, it's not your job. They couldn't agree on which way the toilet paper should go. Just like the toothpaste, that's valid. If you don't know at this point in life, or just any point in life, that the toilet paper should be facing towards the toilet to pull down, it doesn't tear. That's how it works. You deserve the divorce if you have the toilet paper facing away from you and you were pulling on the back side of the toilet paper. You asked for it. I heard a story of a guy who took long hours at his job to get his wife through college, and once she finished college, she left him because he wasn't on her level and he didn't have a degree despite making more money than her. No wonder he doesn't have a degree. He was working full-time. How is he supposed to get a degree? He doesn't have time for his school. Now, obviously, I'm sure that the main reason was she used him for the money and then wanted to get out. Other than just, oh, he's too stupid for me now. She never loved you. She wanted you to pay for her college. The end. One of my friends got married at 22 and divorced a year later. The reason? Her husband sucked at providing her with a warm bath at the right temperature. Yes, you read that right. He drew her baths and was picky about the temperature, claiming it was always just this side of too cold. Now, like most of these, there's probably more to it than that. But at the same time, I'm not surprised if it is just these really minuscule reasons. I mean, if you're not comfortable with how your husband draws the water, why don't you draw the water yourself if you know how to set it right? Or just are you do you have no hands? Can you not do it yourself? Are you, what's the dilemma here? Let's figure this out. Not a divorce, but my friend and her boyfriend at the time broke up because they couldn't agree on whether humans should colonize Mars. Oh, leave the Martians alone. They're vibing. We're vibing on Earth. Leave them alone. But it'd be pretty cool though. Wouldn't be the first time we took land. This is a bit long, I'll sum it up. A couple had been together for 8 years. One of them wanted kids, the other one didn't, and they thought someone would change their mind. I really feel like people should end a relationship before marriage if you know that one of you just never ever wants kids. I mean, I've got friends that are just stone cold, I don't want kids, and they live by that. If your partner before marriage says I don't want kids and the other one says I do want kids, that should be a sign to just call it off there. I feel like wanting kids is one of the easiest things to ask about when you're trying to find a partner. It's really, really easy. Ooh, hoo hoo hoo. Wife divorced the husband when he retired. The wife couldn't stand the husband now being home all the time, so they divorced. Husband purchased a house a few houses down the road, and now they are best friends again. But personal space is important, and change in routines can be hard. I would rather my wife and I be long distance when we were dating than like seeing each other like every single day. Like at the same, like, I think at that point it's just you need to be able to both do your own separate things living together. Like my wife will watch TV while I'm in here streaming. If you are a couple that doesn't do anything away from each other when you are cooped up in the same house, yeah, you probably should not have gotten married in the first place. I knew a guy that left his hot rich wife because she wouldn't blow him anymore. He went from a huge house with money to feed whatever habits he had to living in a room in a shitty house drinking Ripple. And he still isn't getting blowies. Were handies not enough for you, Richard? Was the inside of me not enough for you? It had to be the sucky. Blowjob ain't that big, buddy. A family member divorced his wife over a honey-baked ham. He had high blood pressure and said she was trying to kill him by buying the ham. Well, the secret to that is, don't eat the ham. That's all you gotta do. I have cancer. I can't have sugar. But my wife comes home with sugar. She trying to kill me? No, she's just trying to satisfy herself. Sugar is very addictive, more addictive than drugs. I understand it, but god damn do I miss me a Dairy Queen Blizzard. Oh, back a freshman high school history teacher told us about a married friend of his. The wife went to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, bleary-eyed in a dark room, and fell into the toilet due to the seat being left up. Sopping wet, she stormed back into the bedroom and declared, I want a divorce. Sure, it was just the straw that broke the camel's back for this couple, but 20 years later, I still think about this story very often. Is it really that hard for you to just put the toilet seat down yourself? Like, there's a stigma that it's just courteous to put the toilet seat down. Now, completely covering it, yes. But you leave the toilet, like, just turn on the bathroom light. What the fuck? I know you have a light. Every bathroom has a light, all right? You can do it yourself. If anybody that falls in the toilet, it's their fault. No. It's not that hard to not fall in a fucking toilet. You turn on the light, then you can see, wow! Couple split up because one wanted to live in a hot climate and the other one lived in cold. Valid. Their mom told them to. Oh my lord. Imagine my mom told me to divorce my wife. Would I side with the wife or the mom? You guessed it, the dad. If you're still listening to your parents about marriage advice, then you deserve to lose them. Oh my gosh. When I met my spouse, they had this hobby they loved. Now that we're married, I thought that would give that up. They won't change for me, so I'm leaving them. So it's okay during the relationship to have a hobby, but when you're married, you have to give up the hobby? That's not how it works. If you're not comfortable with the hobby then, you should not be comfortable with the hobby now. If you like or you're comfortable with the hobby then, you should be comfortable with it now. I don't see the problem here. They met in high school. He was chubby and liked to smoke weed. They kept in touch, started dating in their 20s. He was fat and liked to smoke weed and drink beer. He continued to be fat and smoke weed and drink beer. After a couple years of dating, they got married. The divorce was finalized 10 months later because she couldn't stand that he was fat and liked to smoke weed and drink beer. It's back to back. It's back to back to where a couple thinks one person is going to change something that they were okay with before the marriage. If he's still fat, ugly, likes to smoke weed, and you liked him back then, what difference does it make when you get married? Oh, now he's too fat. Now I don't like smoking weed. I realize this might sound like bullshit, but an old coworker's wife wanted a divorce because she realized she was in a telepathic love affair with Elon Musk. I'm not bullshitting. It's those brain microchips they were talking about. He got them. He got them. Elon, how is she? Tell me now. The groom got food poisoning on the honeymoon. He shit himself while playing putt-putt, and they had walked there from the hotel. Before he was out of the shower, she had called her parents to come get her and packed. She sat in the lobby while they made for a 6-hour drive. She filed for divorce and the next business day. They had dated 4 years. That calls for divorce. My wife should have left me like 2 months ago. Don't ask. All the couples that divorce because one partner doesn't do their fair share of the housework. Just pick up a dishcloth and save your marriage. Yeah, valid. It's so easy to do housework. It shouldn't even have to be asked of you to do housework, especially if you are home longer than they are. Like I have a day off while my wife's at work. I do the cleaning on Friday because I have all the time of the day to do so. Not that hard. Or you have the couples that stay together and they're both messes and neither of them clean up and the house is a goddamn nightmare. I'll take the former. Wife had a dream about her husband having an affair, so she left him because she decided that her brain was trying to tell her that she'd seen signs of an affair, but hadn't realized. I feel like everybody's spouse in their dreams are just absolutely evil. But my wife and I, every time we have a dream about one another, one of us is doing some shitty thing or we leave each other for somebody. It's never pretty. We don't get it. We're lost. And yet we have a very successful marriage. I pray to God we do. My mom's ex has been cited that she bought too many DVDs in the divorce papers. I mean, hey, I wouldn't want to keep a big CD collection either. Yeah, all that shit's getting lost. Those thin plastic boxes that just don't have labels on them. Oh, or the clear plastic boxes that don't have any labels on them. No, get those out of the house. We're living in the 2020s now, man. Like, I'm sure this was in the past, but like, man, we got streaming services. Why do you need CDs? I guess for music. Again, you have Spotify. As cool as it is to have vinyls, they're useless now, let's be honest. Another toothbrush won a fight about putting the toothpaste cap back on was the straw that broke the camel's back from a high school history teacher. I think that one's a bit less valid than squeezing the tube from the bottom instead of the top. That one's annoying. The cap, it's not that hard to do. You can fix it. Even the toothpaste, you can fix how it looks. I don't know. A former coworker told me his wife divorced him because God told her to go to the French Riviera to be wined and dined by rich men, because clearly God is all about encouraging people to end their marriages in favor of lives of debauchery. Rich men on the French Riviera are looking for 40-something mothers of 4. Man, there was a guy on TLC, I think like 90 Day Fiancé or some shit, where like, well no, because they're not fiancé, they were married. There's a TLC show where the husband claimed that God told him they need to marry somebody outside of America so they could be citizens, and he just spent all his time with her and not his wife, and they had kids. Yeah, so I guess God is all about polygamy now. Babe, we need a third wife, the Lord tells me. Prepare the 3-way. It must be like the God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. There's a trinity of sex. A trinity, I say! Divorce was for unfair marriage practices. I earned more money than my ex-husband and wouldn't quit my job to stroke his ego. Honestly, like, I'd take it, man. Dual income, no kids. Dude, y'all be stacked. Like, why would you complain? My wife is the breadwinner right now because I'm missing so much work. The both of us have jobs, and that's how we live in our apartment. Who cares about who's making fuck more money? If we're both making money, we're making stacks, baby. Jesus Christ. For their 5th anniversary, my friend planned a big vacation and got her a type of jewelry that she had always wanted. She was convinced that he did this because he cheated on her and was trying to cover for it. She wouldn't let it go, and they divorced. 4 months later, before you ask her, she wasn't projecting. Neither of them ever cheated. The rule number 1, man, don't spoil your wife. That means you're a cheater and a liar. Don't love your wife, hate your wife, and she won't suspect you. I know someone who divorced her husband because God told her that her husband was sleeping with his first cousin. God told her. Yes, God, just like sending an angel to Mary, sent a giant angel to tell your husband is fucking his cousin. Be gone with him. Now! This is what makes people not religious. That's coming from a Christian. I remember seeing a picture of a couple divvying up their enormous Beanie Baby collection in court. Not sure what the reason for the divorce was. I thought that was pretty sad. I don't know, man. My wife and I getting divorced, these Funkos back here, I'm fighting for my life on those. I don't know what you're talking about. Joint custody of the kid? No. Visitation weeks? Fuck it. Nope. My Funkos, they stay. Fighting over who gets what money? Not a big deal. Because I get my little Funko Pops. Had a couple, 12 years married, and 4 living in sin before that? What? What do you mean? Who were my Warcraft guild who got divorced because the husband, the healer, kept getting the wife tank die when we were trying to be the first guild on the server through Sunwell Plateau. I mean, hey, you're dragging the team down. Can't stay together. You dropped me 2 ranks in Overwatch and Siege. Divorce. You could simply just not play the game together. That's a standard for divorce. I should have divorced my wife after playing Overcooked, because goddamn, we do not have coordination. Choosing the best friend over the partner. Now see, this one's a toughie, right? My best friend and I, we've been best friends for 20 years now. My wife and I have been married for a year, dated for 3 years, known each other since high school, which was like 8 years ago when we first met. It's tough to say, but at the same time, it's not. See, my friend's not toxic, neither is my wife. If ever were she to ask for me to choose, then I'd have to go with the wife. I think it's making the spouse choose is bullshit and wrong of you to do, unless it is for a healthy cause. If the friend is bringing you down and making you a worse person. But if she's just annoyed by the fact that you are just hanging out with your buddy for longer than she wants you to, that I feel like the guy is in the right for that. Just wanting to spend time with friends. It depends on how much time he's spending. Is he spending every day, every night with his friends? Like, it's got to be more complicated than just, it's the friend or me, you know? That's unfortunate. Because they took advice from Reddit. I mean, hey, where else are you going to get your marriage advice from? A counselor? No, Reddit. Reddit has everything. What would you need to do anything? Where else would you need to go? You have Reddit. I should ask a Reddit right now what should I do about my wife. Ex told me, you love the kids more than me. My answer was like, yeah, I sure do. Maybe I was wrong. I don't know. To me, husbands come and go, but my kids are forever. And since I decided to bring them into the world, I should care for them as best I could. I have 6 kids, and I really tried to give everyone the love they needed, but I guess it didn't give him enough. Yeah, my wife and I are under the agreement that we will always love each other more than our kids, because it is possible to get lost into parenthood, that you do neglect your spouse, and that is not a healthy practice. You should love your husband more, if not equal, to your children always, and that goes for loving your wife as well. I really don't think it's that hard to make time for the spouse and the children. I mean, 6 kids is a fucking lot, but like I've seen it work. I've seen families of 5, and they always put spouses first, and they take care of the kids together. I don't think it's that hard. So I think the wife is in the wrong, unless like he just wanted more time spent together, and she wasn't giving that to him, or if she was giving enough time to him and the kids equally, and then he was just being selfish. You really need more context to this one, I guess. Depends on the situation. Oh, I've seen this time and time again with like couples, not so much married couples, but definitely like teenagers. My ex-wife divorced me because she wasn't happy anymore. I fought it for a while, but finally gave in. Then after we divorced, she was complaining that I didn't fight for the marriage more or something ludicrous like that. It's been 3 years and I'm remarried to an amazing woman, and my ex is still an insufferable ass. No, I've seen this shit so many times when it's like, oh, you didn't try hard enough. It's like, I shouldn't have had to try. We were doing just fine. You just wanted me to you just wanted me to do extra steps and jump through hoops. You wasted time, money on attorneys and a divorce. Friend's wife left him after she read 50 Shades of Grey and concluded that she needed to find a guy like that. The truth is, honey, what you see in porn doesn't exist in real life. That is how it's always been. I know it, you know it, everybody knows it. Sex is not all that porn makes it out to be. Didn't share the burger. You know, if the burger was that good, I mean, come on, share your food with your spouse, all right? Especially if it's a juicy burger, all right? Now, let me tell you something. It was a McDonald's burger, a nice double cheeseburger, fries, and you didn't share a bite of that? Fuck you. If it was a Burger King burger, I think they did you a favor by not sharing. I literally saw a news in an Indian newspaper where wife asked her husband for divorce because he never argues with her and loves her so much, and his love was suffocating her. Yes, I don't love you anymore because you are too good of a person. I don't like it when you're good to me. Hate me. Hate me. And there are women that exist for that. They love a relationship that has problems, and I don't understand why. My wife and I, after 3 years of dating, 8 years of knowing each other, 1 year of being married, have never had a single argument, and we are just super sweet to each other. I don't know how you could dislike that. Why would you want to make things harder on yourself? Knew a couple that got divorced because the wife wanted to celebrate Christmas and the husband didn't. There are a lot of other issues. The guy was a control freak, but that was the breaking point. Hell yeah, it's the breaking point. It's Christmas. Dude, if my wife didn't want to celebrate Christmas, dude, I'm kicking her ass to the curb too. We can be married, but she's got to live in a different building because I'm putting a goddamn Christmas tree in my living room, damn it. And I want to open presents. Just small dick. You know, can't win them all. Ha ha! He thought she farted too much in her sleep and was sick of it. She refused to get help for it. 15 years of marriage ended over that. Damn, bro. My wife, if that was the standard, my wife should have left me too. Dear God, the amount of gas chambers I make when it's bedtime that would warrant an arrest for these standards. Now listen here, if you're a married couple and you're not comfortable farting around each other, dude, you ain't doing it right. You better rip ass in front of your wife and vice versa if you want a healthy marriage. Someone who got divorced to make it easier to pay student loans. That's just America, bud. Divorce and marriage, either you get perks or you get no perks. Yeah, I know a couple that got married for financial aid reasons for college. And a lot of these I've read, just not out loud, are so they could get more financial aid. They divorced for like medical treatment, which is bullshit. It's sad the world we live in. Politics. The husband was a Trump supporter, the wife was not. Valid, but not in the way that you may think I'm going with this. I think if you are involved in political stuff, but you're not a politician yourself, then what the fuck is the point about talking about politics? It gets nothing done but just piss people off. I'm so glad my family, like my extended family, is past that phase of talking politics at the dinner table. Like, we just don't give a fuck anymore. Who cares? The less you know about politics and what's going on, the happier you will be. My wife and I have not had one political discussion because we don't give a fuck. Oh man, best friend in high school's mom got addicted to the game EverQuest and lost the job, spent all her time playing, and introduced the kids to the game, had an in-game wedding. I think she's divorcing my dad. Fucking weird. She took the kids and moves to Canada before the week was over to be with the guy. I mean, hey, if I wasn't as good of a person as I am, my wife would have lost me to Elden Ring, and I would have lost my wife to Elden Ring. Oh, this sucks. I don't know if it's dumb or not, but my friend and her husband had a great relationship. Really good for each other. They got 23andMe, found out they were third cousins, and decided to get divorced because they both wanted biological children badly and didn't want to risk now remarried to other people and got their own kids. So all is well, I guess. God. Oh, it hurts. There was a whole episode of Community about that where they found out on the wedding day that they were related. It was like, oh, they're cousins, and it was like, oh, fuck. What's the protocol? Obviously, you gotta. It's so bad. I will never take a DNA test. I don't want to find out if I'm related to my wife. I know for a fact I'm not. And I'm not gonna second guess myself now. But if it ever comes out, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. There it is. Ex-husband did me a favor, his words not mine, of renting me a moving van 3 days after my lupus diagnosis. He told me he did not want to be a caregiver. Thought that was dumb of him. It is very dumb. Sickness and in health, dumbass. It's like the main thing everybody remembers from wedding vows, and sickness and in health. You dumb shit. The husband started drinking coffee. They were the members of the Church of Latter-day Saints. Man, the shit I've done that would be out of the practice of Christianity. Yeah, I'd be like giga divorced. Once heard of a couple getting a divorce because the husband said she was being extremely goofy. Hey man, the goofier the better. Honestly, you kind of missed out. There's a couple I know that broke up because he insisted that she should be the one who buys condoms to prove that she is really invested in the relationship. She didn't want to have to buy condoms, so they broke up. Well, bud, maybe you should prove that you care by buying birth control pills. I tell you what, it is kind of embarrassing if you get it from a place where they keep the condoms in a case and you have to ask for an employee to come unlock it and they know exactly what you're getting. Oh, it's so embarrassing. I hate it. Oh, it's so gross. I feel embarrassed. My wife divorced me because she didn't like the way I loaded the dishwasher. Listen, here's the optimal way to load the dishwasher, all right? Bowls, Tupperware, spatulas, longer appliances that don't go in the little silverware basket. They go on the top. And glasses and mugs. Bottom goes plates, pots and pans, and any additional glasses or bowls. Cooking sheets also go on the bottom. It's not that hard. I feel like that is the standard of every home. If I go to a home and the plates are on the top rack, yeah, out, done. Never associating with you again. My first wife divorced me because she didn't like the way my penis looked at her. Just slap googly eyes on your dick? Awesome. I'd be asking for more of that. I'm not gay. Ooh. Divorced my husband after he started identifying as a baby and wanted me to keep him in a dry diaper. Yep, nothing more to say about that. Yep, that's fucked up. Ex-husband told me one of the reasons was I watched too much Family Guy. Valid. Another, my parents divorced because of Family Guy. Again, valid. Family Guy's brain rot. Ate her peas one at a time. Oh. No, that would bother me so much. Do you know how long that would take? Do you know how tiny peas are? Especially if like you put like a serving, like just one serving for yourself. That's like 100, 200 peas. God, I would be like, I'd be getting ready for bed by the time she's done eating peas. Dear God, there's a whole 9 to 5 to eat a serving of peas. I watched a YouTube video where the guy mentions his wife left him because he forced her to watch Dragon Ball Z Kai, and then goes on to talk about how great Dragon Ball Z is. What'd you say, Goku solos? That'll get you a divorce, buddy. One was suffocated in titties. I mean, hey, come on. Who doesn't need a face full of titties now and then? Oh my God, the groom passed gas on the honeymoon. She filed the day they arrived. True story. Well, that runs like 500 divorces for me then. My best friend's ex broke up with her because she kissed a cat and decided that it's the same as cheating. Oh, this day and age, you never know. Not a divorce, but some guy dumped me for once having wood floors in my house. Guess he was a carpet kind of guy. I will say, now this is a house. You own this house. All right, we'll go with this. All right, you want the living room to have carpet. You want the kitchen to be hardwood, the bathrooms to be tile, in all of their office spaces. The space is hardwood, extra bedrooms, lounge area. That should be by design. Now, if you're in an apartment and everything's hardwood except for the bedroom carpet, you're just out of your control. Optimal is the former that I just mentioned. Well, it looks like that's about it. That was fun. That was a fun little ride there. A lot of these. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you got this far into the video, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, or give me some ideas of some other stuff I can talk about, because fuck, I've got a few on the mind, but This was fun. Again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!